From all the healing work that I have done as a survivor of narcissistic abuse, I have realized that your body has its own wisdom that is far, far different and greater than the wisdom that you have here, the things that you know about consciously. Your body has the innate, miraculous capacity to repair and heal itself. It also has the capacity and the capability to screen people who surround you, to know who you are dealing with, and to detect predatory energy. That's what we are going to talk about in depth and detail in this episode. I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional. Today's topic is 2 ways your yawning reflex can tell you if you are dealing with a narcissist or not. If you find that interesting and you're eager to learn more, please make sure to subscribe before we begin, because as I always say and request, your subscription to the channel may help in spreading awareness about narcissistic abuse. Number one, if you find yourself yawning a lot around somebody, you may be dealing with a narcissist. Now, that is a big generalization, isn't it? It needs context. Let's try to understand why you yawn around somebody. There are 2 possibilities. Number one is the co-regulation. Maybe you feel truly safe to your bones. Maybe your body is finally letting go of all the barriers and you are relaxing at a deep cellular level in the presence of this person. When that happens naturally, one of the ways that relaxation manifests is yawning. You yawn a lot. Yawning is a different way of saying, I feel relaxed around you, which means I am safe, and that also means I can enter the state of rest and digest. I do not need to keep my barriers activated and my shields can come down. But as I said, it's contextual. Other things also matter. How the conversation goes and how the person deals with you in future and how they have dealt with you in the past. It's a theme. There's a pattern to this behavior. In that case, you cannot say you're dealing with a narcissist. You're dealing with somebody who makes you feel safe. Now, the second possibility, when yawning is triggered in response to predatory energy. How would you know that? Let's find out. If you feel really tense and tired in somebody's presence and you start yawning anxiously as if you're trying to release some kind of darkness that is intruding, that is entering your body non-consensually and is violating you, that may be a sign you're dealing with a predator. And context is extremely important here, how they have been trying to manipulate you, what they have been doing to your boundaries, and their overall behavior has to be taken into consideration before you come to any conclusion. The general guideline is, if you feel anxious in your body, if you feel tense, dense, and heavy, which is the opposite of how you feel when you're relaxed, and you anxiously keep yawning and you are dissociating at the same time, you're trying to listen but you're somewhere else, as if your brain is not letting you to stay here in the present moment, you may be dealing with somebody with a lot of dense energy within them. A narcissist energy is vampiric. It is invasive, meaning when it sees or detects there is a potential prey in their environment, it starts hunting it down left, right, and center. There is no stopping that. And at a spiritual level, that is really difficult to deal with, to handle, which can consume a lot of your resources. You have to keep your God intact. You have to have your boundaries. You have to have hypervigilance activated, which is a lot of work when done in combination. When yawning in presence of a predator, you should ask your body, what's going on in here? What questions do I need to ask myself? What do I want to do? If you find some kind of disturbing energy surrounding your body, and if you find your body telling you, I need to leave this person right now, even though there is no visible reason to do so, you still feel that, follow that intuition. Just take that in as the most important type of feedback you can ever get from any source, and never look back, because your gut is your second brain. Your body's wisdom knows more than what you know consciously. Always remember that. All of this is not something that I have heard from spiritual masters or other people and I'm today telling you. No, I have seen it happening. And it has proven me wrong so many times because the inclination is, as a trauma survivor, to suppress it, to cancel that voice, to sideline it. We don't want to listen to it because the love bombing is so intense, or the charisma, it just manipulates us at a subliminal level. And that is the reason why you should listen to it more. It is, as I said, and I'm repeating myself, the most accurate form of feedback you can get from anybody. Number two, your yawning can tell if you're dealing with a narcissist if the other person does not yawn when you yawn. Now, that is also a big generalization, isn't it? However, a study was done which found out that psychopaths, malignant narcissists, lack proper functional yawning reflex. Probably there is some defect in their mirror neurons or their cerebral cortex, whatever, but it has been found that they do not yawn. They do not respond to yawning like you do. I'm sure you would have yawned a couple of times during this episode because I kept saying yawning, yawning, yawning. It does impact our brain. Let me know in the comments if you yawned. Nothing is contagious when it comes to a narcissist. They do not catch your emotions. You may have noticed if somebody is happy, you also tend to feel the same emotional state. We impact each other at a soul, spiritual, non-bodily level, which our conscious brain cannot comprehend. If somebody is sad and you are empathetic, naturally you're going to feel the density in the environment. But what happens with the narcissist? They control the emotional state. They are not impacted by what the collective is feeling. They decide what the collective goes through, which explains why a family in which a narcissist is the main dominant person, their mood, the mood of these members is always defined by how the family head is, the narcissist is feeling. So in conclusion, we can say if you start yawning a lot and if that yawning is not induced by relaxation, you feel tired, you feel heavy, you feel dense, you feel tense, and this person's presence doesn't feel so welcoming, doesn't feel so safe, then that should be a big sign for you to consider you may be dealing with a narcissist. Ask your body, it will tell you everything. You just have to learn how to communicate with it. Number two, if you do not see a yawning reflex in a person, take that as a sign, because they may or may not be a narcissist, but understand that this could be the biggest red flag. Take everything with a pinch of salt and proceed cautiously. That was it for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening. I hope you found it insightful. If you did, let me know in the comments, and also make sure to let me know if you yawned throughout this episode. All right, I'll talk to you in the next one. Until then, as always, let the healing begin and continue.